Good morning.
Good morning.
I greet you with love and respect. I cannot believe it. Oh, yes, I can. Oh, yes, I can. Oh, my gosh. I got just chill bumps all over. Oh, my God. The synchronicity of God. Oh, my goodness. And wait till you hear what I'm talking about. Oh, wow. So we're talking about the sacred places. The places that scare you. And as I was sitting with it, what came to me is that they open our heart. And so as Donna explained, I said the affirmation and she sent it back and I sent it there. But after I sent it to her and asked her to make the change, then I sat with the fact that the places that scare us, just like she said, they open our heart because they become the catalyst for sacred transformation. They become the catalyst. They have the power to ignite this transformation. So as she said, and I thought about it later, I'm like, yeah, those places that scare us become so sacred for moving us toward and into our spiritual enlightenment and unfolding. And so it became a greater awareness and perception for us to begin to hold when we're in the midst of those experiences that seem to scare us. And so I sat with that 3 or 4 days after we went through that experience, just sitting with it. So what I want to talk to you a little bit about is the things that scare us. How come it scares us? And then what we can do about it. And it's wonderful because there's practical things for you today because John had his birthday today. So there's something practical that you can do. Vulnerability scares us. See, I get to say this for you, you just get to sit there. Don't give yourself away. Silence and stillness scares us. Wake up in the morning and your life is unfulfilled. It scares us. Change scares us. The unknown scares us. Come on, anybody else? Come on. 25-year marriage, not working, scares us. Looking in the mirror at our own eyes with unadulterated love and compassion scares us. Intimacy scares us. We long for it, we wanted someone, that person, to love us, and it scares us. Uncertainty scares us. It doesn't feel like it, but fleeting moments of uneasiness and discomfort scares us. Stepping into our power as creators in our own lives scares us. Stepping into being God in expression on this planet without any separation scares us. The truth, as you heard in the song, of who we really are, and living from that awareness scares us. So when you really think about it, there's quite a bit about just living, period, that scares us. How come it scares us? Because when you really realize and accept who you really are, then the you that's getting scared isn't the real you at all. The you that's getting scared is the smallness of you that's being exposed for the illusion that it is. That's what's getting scared. Some people call it the ego, I call it the smaller aspect of us, the mind. That's who's scared. Because now it's exposed. When we're vulnerable, it's exposed. In uncertainty, it's exposed. The limitation of its power becomes exposed. In intimacy, it gets exposed. In fear, it gets exposed for the illusion that it really is. Because beneath it, behind it, around it, is the potential, pregnant potential, full of possibilities for enlightenment and the recognition of the power of God. Your oneness with God. But when the mind and the ego, that smaller aspect of gets aroused and realizes that our heart has gotten open by the stories it's told us and conjured up, it's the one that's exposed. So when you really think about it, it's really doing something for us that it doesn't really want to do, which is it is opening us up to the realization of our oneness with God. Because in those fragile moments, in those moments of being vulnerable, that's when we're most open. Now, if we don't try and fix it, if we don't ignore it, if we don't medicate it, if we don't repress it, and can be with it and sit with it, that's when the sacred transformation happens. So first, I want you to understand and become aware. I just listed some of the things. What scared you? Then I want you to realize that part of you that's scared is not the real you that there is. It's a very limited, narrow part of you. But that's how it has governed our lives and our experience all this time, because we give it credit for being bigger than it really is. We give it credit for being bigger than it really is. So it serves a purpose if we can change our perceptions about it to begin to say, there's some uncertainty going on right now. There's a little bit of uneasiness and discomfort that I'm feeling right now. Now, my mind would give me a story that would send me spiraling into fear. But I recognize that this is a catalyst for sacred transformation. So let me just be with it. Let me just sit with it. I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to run. I'm not going to pick up the phone and call anyone. I'm not even going to pray, because that's talking about it to a presence that already knows what I'm needing, that doesn't even really, I don't want to say care about it, but it's bigger than this little bit that's unfolding right now. God's bigger than that. Love's bigger than that. Compassion's bigger than that. Peace is bigger than that. There's a thought of, why are we going to God say, well, I'm in fear? God said, well, what's fear? Well, I'm in love. Okay, now I know what you're talking about. So there's that part, our ego, our mind, that gets it going. So that's what I want you to realize and become aware of. That's who is in fear. That's who's dealing with uncertainty. Because when you move to the sacred transformation and recognize it as the catalyst, then you get to move into something bigger. What are you afraid of? And how come you're afraid? Has nothing to do with who you really are and how powerful you really are. Has nothing to do with that. Oh, I tell you too, one of the things we're really afraid of is letting go. Just letting go. Just taking your hands off of it and letting go. Still being in the moment, but letting go. And I just went through this personally because I was reading this wonderful book. I gave it to us a couple of months ago. Things Are Going Great in My Absence. And one of the things they talked about is oftentimes when situations and circumstances come up, we have a tendency to throw money at it, throw action at it. We're going to do something. And instead of doing something at the same level that you created it, it says simply look at how you're being in the situation. And if you change how you're being in the situation, that then will change the outcome and your experience of it. So I was like, okay, well, God, show me how I'm being in this particular situation where it doesn't flow with grace and ease. Big question. So as the creator that I am, I created a situation for me to see how I was being in a particular situation. It wasn't flowing with grace and ease. And so I'm going through this discussion in my head. I'm texting back and forth. And I'm getting a response. I'm like, no, that's not the response I want. So I'm sitting back and forth. It's going back and forth. All of a sudden, I feel the presence says to me, this is how you're being in this situation that won't allow it to flow with grace and ease. I'm like, oh, really? I'm like, okay, but what do I do? It's like, let go. I'm like, oh, no, not in this situation. Let go? I can't let go. No, I can't. I can just feel myself just holding on and holding on. It's like, let go. You want to know how you're being in this situation. As you shift your energy